What's up, everyone? It's Elaine here with Neon Owl. We connect people through music, passion, and giving back. We bring music media to the core of what it should be: positivity, inspiration, good music, real people, and really getting to know the artists beyond the industry. Each week, we feature a special artist interview or a video project, so make sure you check us out, Neon Owl Co., across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or check out our website, www.neonowl.co. If you like our interviews, make sure you share them, and we would also love to hear from you after each episode, what you liked, maybe who we should interview next, and if there's any special questions that you'd like to ask your favorite artists. Today we have a special guest, Kevin, aka Ahzee. He actually just got back from being on tour in France and Belgium, and he has a new track out right now called My Passion. If you haven't heard it yet, we'll make sure to feature a clip at the end of this interview. How's it going?
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Good. He actually just got back from being on tour in France and Belgium, and he's from New York, so really good to have you here today.
Right, yeah, I'm excited.
So I always like to start with a positive focus, and that's something that you are either excited about or something you're grateful for.
What am I grateful for, excited about? I'm excited about making new music, always in my studio, and grateful, let's see, I would say I was grateful for my parents always being there for me in the past, because growing up, I never had so much, because I was actually born in South America, and we came a long way to come here into the U.S., and I live in New York now, and they always push to give me the most they can, and I'm so grateful for the way they are, because without them, I couldn't start my music career.
Yeah.
Definitely grateful for them.
So, tell us a little bit about that, the beginning of your music career and how that all kind of came about.
Well, I started DJing as soon as I finished high school, so at around 18 years old,
Mhm.
and I DJ just in clubs close to my home in New York, and I always had a sound in so I played like EDM house music in
Yeah.
the clubs, and I always had a sound in my head, just a little different from the rest of the sounds I was playing. So I said, let me try to go home and see if I could download something and try to make something. It
Yeah.
was just an out of the box kind of idea. I didn't play any instruments before this or anything. So I came home, I downloaded the free version of one of the softwares you use to create music.
Mhm.
I started to play around for maybe 6 months. I played around with this. I YouTubed so many things. I YouTubed how to play the piano, everything. And I kind of taught myself, and my parents helped me a lot, because at that point I didn't have so much money, so they invested in actually buying me a real like piano and buying me things to help me learn.
Yeah.
And so they helped me. They were definitely there to support me. So I started to make my first song, and it took me a really long time for my first song. Now I make songs every 2 days,
Yeah.
new songs.
Just spitting them out.
Right. But before, yeah, so the first song I made was Born Again, which is my first song ever.
Hmm.
And I posted it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And at that point, I had maybe 10 followers on SoundCloud, and it was just like my friends, basically. And I don't know what happened, but within maybe 10 days, a record label in Belgium contacted me, and they were like, we want to sign your track. And I said, what? I said, sign my track. First track, yeah. For me, I thought it was fake, And my sister, she's older than me, and she's in the business world and stuff. So I asked her, I said, is this true? Can you, like, look into this and see if this is real, or it's a guy, like, weird?
Trying to scam me.
Right. So she looked into it, and she says, it's legit. It's a legit record label. They're doing really well. Go for it. He wants nothing from you. He just wants the track. You have nothing to lose. So I said, okay. So I sent him the track, and within maybe less than a month, the track was #1 on iTunes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it trickled over into different countries around Europe. Yeah, and then everything just went fast after then.
That's crazy. I have listened to a lot of your music, and it has a very unique sound. It's like
Right.
a blend of like different sounds and genres in one.
Right.
So
Mediterranean.
yeah. So what kind of inspired that? Just listening to music, or what made you decide that that's your sound that you want?
Right. So I was born actually in a country called Guyana, which is right next to Brazil in South America, and my parents grew up listening to a certain kind of music. Um, it's a it's like more Mediterranean style of music they listen to. So I grew up listening to that a lot. And so when I was in the clubs playing in New York, when I was 18, 19 years old, I said to myself, I want to like try and blend that with EDM. It'd be cool, because I like it. So when I came back, that's where all the inspiration came from. Just trying to listen to the music my parents brought me up listening to, and then the new age music of house music, and kind of putting it together like this. And
Yeah. And
yeah,
so what kind of feeling do you want your audience to feel when they're listening to your music?
to feel my music, you see, it changes sometimes with me because sometimes it's about the mood that I feel. It's
Yeah.
never always the same.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm in a mood of very just happy and I feel good and I'm just like summer and sun and I just want like my recent song, My Passion.
Hmm.
It has a vibe of happiness and summertime. And then sometimes like the song I put out, My Poison, it's very hard and it's like you're in the mood to just dance and just get
Yeah.
thing and yeah. So it matters what mood I'm in while I'm making the song. So it
Yeah.
differs a little. But a majority, the overall aspect of what I want the people to feel is um just enjoyment of my unique style, I guess. Like because I like to put a lot of effort in making my things different from everyone else.
Yeah. Well,
As much as I can.
when I was listening to your music, I was feeling like, at the clubs, people kind of fist pump, but you kind of want to fist pump and also kind of like move around some more.
Right.
So that's kind of the vibe that I get.
Okay, cool, cool. So
Yeah.
it's like a little bit of dance, but also
Yeah, it's like you're dancing and like, at EDM clubs, you can't really dance with others. You're just kind of jumping like up or
right,
down. But
right,
in this case, you're dancing around as well, and you're swaying and
right.
shaking your booty or something like
Yeah.
that.
There's a rhythm, there's a flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. Okay, I'm happy you tell me that. So
Yeah.
now
So would you say you have a favorite track that you've produced so far, or one that's especially meaningful for you?
I always have an attachment to my first song, Born Again, because it's for me, I took so much time just like learning how to create music,
Hmm.
and that was the first song I ever did. So it's amazing that that's the song that made it happen for me.
Yeah.
So I always have an attachment to that song. Every time I hear it, I say, I remember listening to it the first time I finished it, and I was so like proud, of like what I did. But I never thought it was a track that could do something. I
Yeah.
just thought I just made something cool and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't think other people would love it in that way. So yeah, Born Again, my first song,
Yeah.
definitely the attachment.
And you don't hear of that very often. Usually it's like, producers or DJs, they start making music and they send like five, six, seven, 8 files and it's all like rejected, right?
Right.
And
I
it,
know it's crazy.
it's a long come up, right? To be
Right.
able to find some success in that. What were you expecting when you decided to make the music, and did you want to pursue this as like a permanent career?
Mm. No, not at all. I did this as a hobby, as for fun. I was young and I wanted to just make the music for me, really, to just play on my friends around. I live in Long Island, New York.
Hmm.
My friends around this area to play too, because I had a lot of DJ friends. And I was going to school for financing, so I was studying this at the
Yeah.
time. And yeah, no, nothing in my head said music is my career.
Yeah.
Nothing in my head said that. I didn't know it was gonna happen. And then, as soon as it did happen, I said, okay, this doesn't happen. It's a lifetime. I need to give everything to this, and I really put all my focus and all like my dedication towards the music,
Yeah.
and really tried to learn more. And yeah, Born Again was like my attachment song, my first song and everything. But I progressed so much in my music in the art of creating music. It's so much better. Even the sounds you hear is much cleaner, and so it's gotten better. But I still have Born Again is still my favorite track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so you said you were studying finance, so were you going to school at that point and then you decided to just pursue music full time?
right. So I actually had just like one more semester,
Uh-huh.
and I stopped
Yeah.
to continue this because it happened fast. Born Again happened in the summer of 2013
Hmm.
when everything was happening, and already the guys were setting up tours for me. I already had to get a manager right away. Everything happened so quick, and they were already starting to tour. I was supposed to start to tour in September already, and I said, "How am I going to do this?" And with music, it burns out very fast.
Yeah.
So I have this popular track now. I need to do things now for it to
Yeah.
really gain my name. So it was either I give up that and go to and continue my last semester, which started in September also, or I take the once in a lifetime chance and go do this. And I preferred because after that I can always go back and finish my semester.
Yeah.
When I have some free time or take a maybe if I become too more popular, I can take 5 months off and be okay. Come back and everyone still knows me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome. I mean, when opportunity calls, you just kind of have to go for it, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And so, what's been the most challenging part of your journey so far?
The most challenging part. Um. Hmm. Well, I never really had like a challenging part. Well, what's to me right this moment is the most challenging is music is changing right now, and to stay you have to always be I believe in I have to always be true to myself and my music. I never want to make music for a label or for the radio. I want to actually do the things that I love. But at the same time, with the way the music has been changing now, it's becoming a little bit more softer in a sense, with the deep house kind of vibes and all that stuff. So I'm trying to integrate my style with the commercial style of what the people want.
Yeah.
Because if I stay completely true to what I'm doing, it will become boring after a while. So you have to give in a little. So the challenging part is kind of right now I'm trying to find a sound that meshes me and what's happening now. So that's been a little difficult. And then another difficult part is challenging that I've seen is the traveling becomes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always time zoned out, and I live in New York, so I come back home, and I'm so tired. But my managers are like, "You need to do music. You need to do music." Home for 3 days, literally, and then I leave again.
Yeah.
So like I leave again on Thursday. So
Where are you going next?
on Thursday I'll be back in Belgium,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go to I believe it's Albania. I'm going for a show. Belgium
Yeah.
again. It's France and Switzerland.
They're just loving you over there, huh?
Yeah, it's that
They're like,
area.
come back.
All right,
Yeah.
it's cool. I'm going to Malaysia in October too, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Are you coming to California anytime soon?
Cali, no, but I have fans that always ask me to come to California and
Oh, California.
thing yet. Is that where you are? California?
Yeah. I'm from San Francisco.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So, okay. And what would you
I hope
say?
one day. I hope one day to come. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just about. I need the popularity to really reach around the U.S. in general. There's not so much familiar with the music as yet. I do have fans, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
it's so big that it's hard to really. It's like I have a lot of friends from a few fans from California, a few fans from New York, a few fans from Florida and Texas. So they're spread across
Yeah.
every. So I just need everyone to just be in like one place. So if everyone could go to California, it'd be amazing because then
Yeah.
I can have
Don't
a
worry.
session.
It'll spread eventually.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope.
So what's been the most rewarding thing for you so far?
The most rewarding thing for me, it's just the one thing I remember that I felt like, oh my God, so crazy is the first show I did.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it was a big club in Belgium where it all started. And it was my first show I ever performed as Ahzee, and I didn't know what to expect. And when I went up on stage and saw that it was a club for maybe 2,000, 3,000 people, it was a really big club,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was just ready for Ahzee. It was just like I was like I didn't know what to do. Honestly, it was the worst show I ever did
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't do anything. I was so nervous, and it was like not a good show for maybe the people because they expected me to be like this, but
Yeah.
I was so like shy and nervous inside that I didn't know how to let go at that point. I
Yeah.
didn't understand that these people were here for me. So that was definitely the most rewarding thing for me because I was so like, oh my God, the whole time because I couldn't believe that I had fans. That
Yeah.
was the thing. And they actually came to just see me perform for the 1 hour I played. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
I mean, how was that? Like during that time, I know. How did all the nerves just kind of Did it
Oh
all
my
go
gosh, so
away, or you
this
were
is,
like,
I was with my manager and like the booking agent. I was like, "Can I have a drink? Can I have a drink? Because I need to." And I saw, like, I was in the back room, and I remember looking over to see the people, and I said, "Oh my God, I can't do this." And they were like, "Yeah, you can do this." I'm like, "What if I don't DJ good?" He's like, "You
what
know
if I
how to DJ."
forget?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was so nervous. My heart was bumping, but I took I think 2 drinks and I felt a little better. But when I was up there, I was still so nervous, and everyone was just watching me, so I felt uncomfortable at the same time. But I did that show, and then after I came off stage, I felt so good after. I said, "Oh my God!" And then the next day I had another show, and I was able to let go a little bit more because I know what I expected
Yeah.
at that
Um,
point.
so do you still get that feeling? Like, do you still get nervous when you get on stage, or depending on the crowd?
Always, always. I don't think there's one show that I've ever played where I don't feel like the butterflies, in your
Yeah.
stomach. Every show it's like that for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's a little less now because I know what to expect than the first time, but I always get that feeling. I always get a little nervous before going on.
Do you feel like that helps you do better in a way, or like, do you feel like that's what you need though?
Yeah, I think I need that. I always need that because if I don't have that, I it would be more boring for me. So
Yeah.
it's good that I have that because it gets me like I'm ready and I get myself pumped and I have like my the people who help me, my managers and stuff around me. They're always traveling with me, so they like to get me in the mood and get me excited, and it's a good feeling because I just love the energy to get up, and when my heart's like this before I'm on, it gives me that like boom, like right before everything starts. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so you've obviously played at a bunch of shows already. Is there a show that's like at the top of your list that you'd love to play at?
That I haven't played already?
Yeah, that you haven't played.
Okay. Tomorrowland, of course.
Tomorrowland?
Yeah, main stage, if you say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Coachella would be amazing.
Mhm.
Um, you guys have festivals in California too, no?
That's where
Or
it's
no?
at. Yeah,
Huh?
we have
Yeah.
we have a lot of
What's your
festivals. Um so honestly, Coachella is a great festival just because it has everything, right? From like
right,
EDM to like R&B, like hip hop, like everything.
right, right.
So that, as far as like diversity, I love that festival. Like, it's one of my favorite festivals.
Okay,
But of course, like EDC, like Las Vegas,
okay.
it's right next to California, but it's one of those festivals that I can see myself going to every single year.
Right,
Just that thing. So
right.
EDC, and then we have
We
small.
have an EDC in New York also.
Yeah, yeah, and my
That's right.
friends go to the one there and go to the one here, and the one in Las Vegas obviously is just like that much bigger, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Um, so it's pretty crazy. And then we have, smaller ones like Beyond Wonderland as well. So
Oh yeah, Beyond Wonderland. Do you have a Tomorrow World also? No.
we have, no, but I'm going to Tomorrow World, the one in Atlanta.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so
Ah,
I
so you're all over. That's sick.
yeah. So in New
Nice.
York in like just a couple months.
Cool.
So we'll come see you play.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully.
Um, so tell us a little bit more about, what's next. Obviously you have My Passion out. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of
Right.
what's next for you.
Right. So I recently just maybe not recently, but maybe a month ago, My Passion has done. We did the video and everything for that. We went to Malta. Uh, it's an island off of Italy to
Yeah,
shoot the video, and it was so much fun.
it was a
But
great
yeah, the song is out now. It's ready for everyone to purchase on iTunes and it's on Spotify. It's everywhere, so you can go grab that. But after this song, so it's been out for a while now. It charted in certain places and it's doing its thing now. But the thing with music is it starts now and then you hear something like big after like 4 or 5 months after. Always, it's always like this. So I'm just waiting, a little.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of remixes in between. Like I'll take some songs and I'll remix them for the DJs and stuff like that, so that they can have something new and fresh to play. Sometimes I remix my own songs and put it on SoundCloud to download, so you can continue to. You don't have to wait for a single every time.
Yeah.
Uh, but what's next is an album for sure. I'm looking into. I have no songs as yet with vocals.
Yeah.
That's out. But all my new songs that I'm doing now are all vocal songs for the most part. So I'm looking to release an album. Hopefully by next year, early next year, it should be ready to go. But in the meantime, before that, I believe in the end of this year, we should have two more singles that are out. And so those are being prepared. We're working on the videos and
Yeah.
everything by then. So
Okay. Yeah. Keep us posted.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so who would you say has been some of your bigger musical influences? Or, do you have a favorite producer, a favorite DJ?
Yeah, right now, well, Tiesto's always been like my top of the list just because he started so young and he's continued as his whole life.
Yeah.
He showed that he devoted his whole life to the music industry and he succeeded. So it's amazing to start so young and to continue because the hard thing with the music industry is you can become this and then like this the next day.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it. So he inspires me so much from what he's done
Yeah.
and the way he's went from trance to EDM and I don't know what's next he's going to, but it's crazy how he just can do it like this. I give him a lot of credit for that. And one of the new artists that I like a lot is Kashmir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really
His
good.
stuff is so solid and sick, and he has a lot of the tones that I like. I think he would be the closest to my style of music that
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like, the sounds that he uses.
Yeah.
Those two are my favorite right now.
Okay. And if you were to describe what music means to you, what would that be?
Describe what music means to me. Ah, it's hard. Um, Music for me is like okay, it's like a different language in a sense. Because I go to all these countries where I don't speak their language at all, and the music is a connection because they hear the same thing I'm hearing, and we kind of speak the same language, and they love what I make, and I love what I make. So I feel like it's a different language of like they can connect to me in that way, even though I can't speak Dutch, I can't speak French, I can't speak these languages. It's cool to connect with the music, so that's my best answer for this.
Yeah. Okay. And moving on to get to know you a little bit more personally. Um, what would you say is something that's on your bucket list that you'd really want to do?
My bucket list. Oh man, I definitely want to go to Australia. I've never been to that part of the world at all,
Yeah.
and go see a kangaroo because that's it, I swear because I always see like videos and stuff and I feel like they're like a mythical creature like it's not even real. So
They're real.
oh, you've been there before?
No, but my friends that I trust tell
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I feel like it's not even true, but yeah.
um, and what's your most valuable possession?
My valuable possession. It has to be something material.
Doesn't have to be.
Most valuable. I would say it's this computer that you're looking at right here because it has everything
Yeah.
of when I started from and all. It takes so much time, and any DJ or producer that's listening right now, they will agree with me because it takes so much time to download and all the things that I bought of
Yeah.
packs to make music and all the sounds I have on there. I have definitely over 1 million sounds that
Yeah.
have been presetted and made on
Yeah.
my computer. So if I were to lose this thing or lose the hard drive on this thing, I would die. I think I have a backup, but to
Uh-huh.
back that up, I think it takes something like 1 week. You have to just
Yeah.
wait, and I
Yeah.
can't be away 1 week from this. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you always making music when you're back home?
yeah, always,
Hmm.
always.
And what
It's
about when you're on the road? Do you do any of that or?
yeah, I do more like ideas because I'm actually on my laptop right now speaking with you, but on my on my trip I take this laptop with me, and I can't. It's not a big enough hard drive to hold everything that I need.
Yeah.
So what I do is I have like a kind of like a version not so good on here. It's not so big, and I can create like sounds and save them, or I can make a melody that I like, and then when I come home is when I start to actually produce a song.
Yeah.
So I do little parts, but nothing serious. Like
Mhm.
I'll make the drop of something, but then my computer can only hold the drop.
Yeah.
After crash. After that it starts to crash, and then I'll come home and I focus more when I'm home too. It's hard when I'm on the road. If I'm on the plane, I like to watch the new movies on the plane.
Mhm.
I'm so bad. I can't concentrate on like doing work. And then if I'm like traveling in the car, I like to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, you need it. And so,
that's
what's your biggest fear?
my biggest fear.
Yes.
My biggest fear is anything that has to do with torture. Anything that you're being tortured. I've watched the movies like the Saw movies,
Yeah. Yeah.
or like Hostel. I can't even deal. It's too
Yeah.
much.
But you'll watch it though.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it and
Freak out like after she's like, oh my god,
exactly.
that's gonna happen to me.
And then have bad dreams and I'm like, it's the worst. But like torture things like where they take their nails out like one by one or they do
Yeah.
weird things. It's the worst. I could if I ever experience that, I think I just die just from being scared. That's it.
Oh man, that's funny. Do you have a favorite like scary movie or like a torture movie?
Favorite one?
Yeah.
I like the Hostel movies.
Yeah.
They're so weird, but they're like it has a good story to it, and it's about Europe, and I'm always traveling to Europe now, so
Hmm.
it gets me more scared when I'm in Europe, I guess. I don't know.
That's exactly what you need, right? And so, for a lot of aspiring DJs or producers out there, what kind of advice do you have for them?
Advice for producers. Definitely. One of the hardest things I realized with producing, and it started with my first song, when I started doing my first song, is to finish what you started because it's the hardest thing to do. And I get so sometimes like discouraged, and I have so many projects that I start, and I don't finish. And being able to finish a song is the most like rewarding thing too, to just be, I'm done, and here it is. And then it's at that point the label will say, okay, we need to change this, we need to change that, but just finish it because once you start, it's you can get bored very easily
Yeah.
because you're listening to the same thing over 100 times. You become bored of the song, so finishing gets very discouraging at a point of making music. So yeah, I would say the strongest thing is to really don't start something else because you're bored. Finish what you have
Mhm.
because it's so important. Because if you continue that, you'll never finish.
Yeah.
It's anything you do.
Did you have that issue? Is that something that you went through mainly in the beginning, or you still go through that now?
Yeah, in the beginning and now.
Yeah.
Beginning and now. More now actually than the beginning. In the beginning, I was still learning to make the music, so I was waiting on like I wanted to finish. I wanted to say like take my song and say, "Hey mom, like listen to this," Like I wanted to
Yeah.
finish, like show someone. But now it's like I'm making music as my job now, so it's become even more than just fun. It's my career choice. So I of course I still have fun, but now I make a song and I'm saying, okay, it's not good because it doesn't have something that catches you. But the important part, even if it's not good, to just finish it because someone else might have different thoughts about the song.
Mhm.
So yeah, I still do that now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say is something that you really value and something that you'd want to, preach or pass on to maybe your future children?
Something that I value.
Yeah.
My my DJ skills, maybe.
Just pass that on, right?
Yeah. Take it. No, actually I collect like model cars because I'm into cars. It's like my second hobby to do cars and work in cars. And I collect these specific like model cars that I have, and I always kept them. My dad actually bought them for me when I was younger,
Mhm.
and I have a lot of them, and it's something I keep. I don't play with them, obviously. I'm too old to play with little model cars, but I keep them for if I have a son in the future and to pass it on to him because it's special. Because when I first came to this country,
Yeah.
my dad started buying me these like once a year. So it was something that I always kept with me. And yeah,
Yeah. Awesome.
definitely something cool.
And if you were to leave behind a legacy, what
Hmm.
would that be and how do you want to be remembered as?
Oh my God, it's hard. I want to be remembered as making the best EDM house music there is now. Yeah, I would want to be just recognized as for my uniqueness of my music, to giving something different to the people in the style of music they like. But as soon as they hear it, they say, "Okay, it's Ozzy." You know, they know the artist behind just by listening and not even seeing the name. To just give them a certain genre. I want to like create my own genre. It's like something I'm working on. I feel like I can do it, and it's hard, of course, but I feel maybe every artist feels this way too, that they can create really their own genre. But with the uniqueness that I have in my music, I feel like I can really push this to something maybe. And yeah, I want to be remembered for that, for giving maybe EDM a little bit of taste of dance and bringing something different to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will honestly say that I haven't heard anyone out there that's like you, which is why I reached out to begin with. So,
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it means a lot.
yeah.
It's really
And
cool to hear.
so, what do you have to say for all your fans that's listening out there? You know, what's the best way they can get in touch with you, and what message do you have for them?
Well, to all my fans, of course, I love you guys. You guys are the reason any of this is possible, and I will continue making music just for you guys, and of course for me because I have fun. But it's you guys who make it possible. And to reach me, I answer sometimes my email, well, my fan mail on my Facebook fan page, which is Ahzee. It's facebook.com/Kevin Ahzee, Ahzee, and Instagram it's at Kevin Ahzee. Twitter also I have at DJ Ahzee. So they can try and connect me on Twitter. I try to do sometimes in the night when I finish my music and I have nothing to do. I'll speak to a lot of them, and
Yeah.
yeah, I communicate as much as I can in between. So yeah, reach me there. And for the DJs, the up and coming DJs that they have music to send to me, they can send me promo at djahzee.com. And sometimes I do a chapter, which is like a podcast,
Hmm.
maybe once a month or once every month and a half. I do a podcast like this, and I can feature their music in the podcast. And it's cool because the podcasts I do have a lot of views, and they can get recognized a little bit more that way. So if they send me their music over, it's cool. So I listen to it, and I sometimes I get feedback,
Yeah.
or
Awesome.
maybe even a collab if it's like amazing. I say, oh, can we do something together? You know?
Yeah. Have you run into that so far? Like something you
Yeah,
really like, and
yeah. There's a group called Sean and Bobo.
yeah.
Um, they're actually pretty like well known. I forget which part, but they make a lot of good music. They have their own label, and their music is really cool. And it's I like uniqueness, and they have a unique part of their music too in EDM. And they send me some things, and we're actually working on a collab together. So um, that and I'm working on a collab with a few singers right now that are famous. I can't say yet because it's not finalized, but yeah, we're getting that going. So all the new stuff coming out now is going to be more in the sense of like vocal tracks.
Hmm.
So I'm working a lot of my collabs aren't with DJs so much as yet because there haven't been something so fresh and so new yet that I'm grasping to, but the singers mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So, Ozzy, everyone, make sure you check out his My Passion video, and we'll
Yes.
also feature a short clip after this.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Nice meeting you.
All right.
Okay.
You are my passion.